Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Shay Sunshine. I am Shay. This is my first YouTube video, first YouTube channel. As you can see, I did a whole introduction, but I recorded the whole video without any audio, so now I'm doing a voiceover. With my many talents, tech savvy is not one of them, but we're gonna get it right for the next time. So I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for quite some time. I just don't like to put myself out there. During this quarantine period, I've had time to think and self-reflect, and something dropped into my spirit saying, why not give it a try, see how it goes? What do you have to lose? So here I am starting a channel. I'm going to use my channel to showcase some of my talents, DIY projects, creative ideas that I have, and of course my cooking recipes because I love to cook. And today we're starting it off with my seafood boil. I did this a couple weeks back and it turned out so amazing. It was my birthday recently, so I thought, why not do a seafood boil, because we're under quarantine and can't go anywhere anyways. So cook food that you're going to enjoy and enjoy your birthday. And without further ado, let's get into it. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, like, comment, share. Tell me what you think. If you tried the recipe, tell me if you liked it. Let's get started. So I'm going to be seasoning my pot with crab legs first because I want to make sure that boils up. I'm going to be using some scallion. Well, us in the Western country, people call it green onion, but us Caribbean call it scallion. So I'm going to be using some scallion, about 5-6 cloves of garlic, and 2 Scotch bonnet pepper. So you just want to do this because it will these seasons will boil out into the water and infuse the water, which will then soak into the crab legs once they're cooking and makes it taste all that much better. We're gonna add some pimento seeds. I love to cook with pimento because I think it just gives the place such a nice aroma when you're cooking and it makes the food taste good. I'm gonna add some chicken flavor cubes to it. This is something that's typically cooked in soup or you put in soup, but I'm going to be adding it to the water just to give it flavor. I'm going to add some Old Bay spice seasoning. So I'm also going to add some Ivory all-purpose. For myself personally, I typically cook all my meats and all my food with some type of Jamaican season because I just think they have more flavor in them. And you know, Jamaicans are known for their food just being flavorful and tasty and well seasoned. So that was inherited in me. So I season all my food with Jamaican seasoning. Add a little bit of salt. We're going to make that boil. We're also going to go back in and add some ground ginger to it because I forgot to put my ground ginger. So I'm just going to add some ground ginger powder. And guys, I know it's seafood boil and typically most people cook it in one big pot because it's called seafood boil. Me personally like to have my food have their own natural taste or own natural flavor, just enhanced by the seasoning. So I'm choosing to cook everything separately and just put it together as a seafood boil. That's a preference. So I'm gonna go ahead and season my water where my corn and my potatoes are gonna go. I'm just gonna add salt, some parsley flakes, and a whole lot of butter. Because you know when you boil corn, you usually add butter to it afterwards, just base it with some butter. I don't have time to individually base corn, so when you put butter in the water when you're boiling corn, the water will become like a butter flavor, which will soak up into the corn, and you're just gonna have a nice, juicy, flavorful corn. And so like I told you guys, I'm not tech savvy, so I did a lot of the work off camera. I cut up and have everything ready to go. You're gonna cook to the proportion of people you're serving. For myself, it wasn't that much. I just did 4 corns and cut them up into 3s. I chose to use these potatoes because my children prefer these potatoes. I've used the baby potatoes and they didn't like them all that much, so I thought, let's try something else. So we're using these potatoes, but you could use any potato that you like. So I'm going to stir that up. Add a little bit more butter because butter makes everything taste better. No, but add a little bit more butter. And then just make sure it brings it to a boil and have it boil. Corn and potatoes don't take too long to boil, so about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. You want to make sure you watch it so the potatoes don't overcook, because you don't want it to be too soft. You want it to have a nice hard consistency when you're biting into it. We're going to be adding shrimp and lobster tails to our seafood boil. Here I'm just deveining the shrimp. I did all of it beforehand, but I just wanted you guys to see how I deveined it. I'm going to wash my meat or my seafood with lemon today. Normally I typically wash all my meat with lemon and vinegar, but because it's seafood, sometimes vinegar will dry it out if it's open meat like the lobster tail. So I'm just going to wash it with lemon, because lemon will cut the smell, any raw smell. So I always wash my food because you're putting that into your body. I'm going to season with some Caribbean spice, roasted garlic seasoning, the Irie brand as well. I'm also going to add some onion salt, a little bit of garlic powder. This is organic, but you can use any garlic powder you want or you have. Some all-purpose Maggi seasoning, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of Cajun spice, Cajun seasoning. So we're just gonna mix that up. I normally mix with my hands when I'm cooking, but the shrimp have the pointy back or pointy bottom, and I don't want that to poke me, so I'm just gonna use a spoon to mix it. Make sure you mix it properly and have all the shrimp well coated. We're gonna add some extra virgin olive oil. This will also enhance the taste and the flavor of the food. And also, seafood doesn't produce a lot of juice, so you just want to make sure you always base it with something that can keep it moist. So we're going to add our shrimp to whatever container or whatever pan we're putting into our oven. This is the one that I'm using. I'm going to put in the shrimp and cover it with foil paper and then put it in for about 10 to 15 minutes. Shrimp, lobster doesn't take long to cook, so preheat the oven to 350 and only put it in once it's already hot. We're going to be seasoning our lobsters with all-purpose seasoning from Maggi and Irie, and some paprika, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, again some onion salt, and some garlic powder. And I'm putting it into the bowl because I'm going to mix it, because with lobster you can't just throw the seasonings on there because most of it's shell. So we're going to just individually rub the seasons all over the lobster. So I mix it once it's in the bowl, and then I rub the season. And here I'm just cutting the lobster tail. You want to take the scissors and cut it to the end of the tail. You want to kind of crack the back a little bit so it's easy to come out, and then you season it individually. We're also adding some extra virgin olive oil to this as well to keep it moist, and we're going to coat it the same way we seasoned it. We're just going to rub it all over. Make sure you get it nice and oily. And so I'm using the similar pot. I'm just going to be putting it into the pot. I'm into the container or the pan, and then sticking it into the oven. I'm going to cover it with some foil paper and sticking it in the oven for about 10 minutes because the oven's already preheated. Again, this doesn't take long to cook because it's lobster, and it's like within 10 minutes they're cooked, so you don't want to overcook them, guys. These are the crab legs and claws that I'm using. When I was trying to do this, I couldn't find a lot of crab legs, so I just picked up some claws. It worked out because my daughter actually prefers the crab legs. She says it has more meat in it, so That's what we're doing. We're also washing this and cleaning it with lemon because all my meats, like I said, I clean before I cook it, boil it, whatever. So I'm just gonna wash that. The water's boiling and it's to a boil, and we're gonna put it in. Look at that. And by the way, guys, I added lemon to it. I used about 1 lemon. Um, I would advise not to use too much lemon because you don't want it too lemony, but just use maybe like 1, cut it up into 4, and then that way it'll cut the smell and also just add flavor to the water and give it a really nice taste when you're eating it. We're going to leave this to cook and get started on our garlic butter sauce and paste. Like I told you, I'm not too tech savvy, so I don't know what happened to the garlic butter footage, but if it's something that you want to see, the garlic butter sauce that I've made to go with this as a dip, just let me know and I could do a video showcasing that. But here's how I do my paste. And this is the paste that I always use for all my shrimp, even when I put it on the grill. I'll just paste it over it. So you want to take some butter and just melt it. Some crushed garlic. I use that little device to crush my garlic. And I'm going to mix it all up and add some parsley flakes to it. This alone will just add so much flavor to your food. Oh my goodness. Anytime I do shrimps in the oven or on the grill, I add this to it. Even sometimes when I cook it, I add this to it because it just makes it taste that much better. And so we mix that and we put it in. We're going to take the brush and just base it over the lobster. These are done, by the way, so I'm just basting it over it. My oven is off. I'm going to stick it back into the oven because the oven's still warm. So just to have it sit there and have the juice soak up into it, we're going to keep it into the oven while we plate our food or while we get everything together. My God, look at my crab legs. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And this is the final result, you guys. This is how it turned out. It was so delicious. I hope you guys do try. I love how you can just see the flavor, see the seasonings on it. I hate bland food, so my food always have to have taste to it. This is the garlic butter sauce that I made. As I said, if you guys want, let me know. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. I hope you enjoy.